Shalom, shalom. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakar Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutations to my fellow Akim and laborers, confusion of face Akim that are joined into our ranks, that do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say shalom. This is the guy from News in 2 Minutes, right? Full Spectrum Survival. Not the News in 2 Minutes guy. I like listening to his little tidbits of news because his news in 2 minutes is straight to the point. And he also has come to understand that people have a short attention span, which is why I try to make my videos, I usually try to make them 15 minutes or less, but sometimes, because a lot of people do have a short attention span. All right. But nevertheless, this video is called How Tyranny is Rewriting History, Protests and Economic Collapse. So let's let it play.
Spectrum Survival, as our algorithm was going through the information for the News in 2 Minutes and gathering critical points to discuss for the preparedness and survival community yesterday, I saw some things pop up that I thought deserved a little bit more.
So, because his message is to the preparedness and survival community. So there are millions of Americans, mostly Edomite Americans, who live in these wooded areas, and near wooded areas. They have, they have their little bunkers. They have their cabins with the bunker hidden below. Their solar panels and their runoffs. Their rainwater collection from the drainage of their houses. They set up pipes so that the water that runs through off their roofs from the rain runs into barrels. These guys are getting ready. Now, truth be said, all that's going to happen is these people in these rural areas are just going to be so far away from civilization, no one's going to hear them scream as they're dying, because they're going to turn on each other. And why? Because it's written. It says the Egyptian versus the Egyptian. Plus, everything that's written in these scriptures is what's going to happen to him. It already happened to us, So it's going to happen to them as well. But the flip side of the coin is they have the mindset to prepare for what's coming because they see it, and our people does not. The Israelite, a typical Israelite, all they're worrying about is the next Cardi B and Nicki Minaj video, about the next scandal, basketball wise, that sort of madness, what's going on TMZ, the next Jordans is coming out, and just things that are completely irrelevant while these Edomites are preparing to survive the upcoming disasters, collapse, and fall of society because it is coming.
Than just the quick excerpt of information that I would have put into the news. Now, first, something that wasn't in the algorithm because it didn't happen at the time. The Dow dropped 600 points today. It came back up to around 500 points. And that reminded me of some information that I had seen out of China recently, where strategists and economists there were saying that their greatest weapon against the United States was the U.S. economy. And it's free.
And so, you know what, real quick, he's talking about China using the U.S. economy against itself. Why? Because it's toxic. And the way they do business is toxic, which is why the nations of the world are pulling away from the dollar and clearing themselves of this disease, which is America. But this is 2nd Ezra 9, and I'm starting at verse 1 and read down to verse 4 quickly. It says, He answered me and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be earthquakes, uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days wherein before, even from the beginning. And look, there's been uproars in the past, but now that we have the internet and social media, man, the uproars go worldwide almost immediately, and they spread like wildfire. Okay, you've never been able to see what's going on the next side of the world. There will be things happening on the next side of the world, and you wouldn't even find about it in your own lifetime. Well, by the time you heard about it, it already had happened many years ago. Now, when something happens on the other side of the world, you know about it almost instantly, and that's prophesied in the Bible, in the Book of Psalms.
Reality, because the U.S. economy is losing its ability to be the world power. It's losing its hold over the rest of the world. And so I think that's something
it's
we should
lost.
watch out for.
It's not losing, it's lost it.
Our
it's all playing out now.
Short-term preparedness planning is what happens when the you and the me of the world suffer because those in power want to retain it or gain more. How can we prepare ourselves? Can we start thinking about a one-year plan that will buffer us from that? So stocks fell on Tuesday, giving up earlier gains as investors were left disappointed with the latest batch of earnings. Isn't that great? I mean, investors just wanted a little bit more money. The Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Let's jump ahead.
Just the president. So, in essence, he would have been holding on to power past his tenure.
Oh, okay. So he was talking about protests.
Are more powerful in the hands of the government than just the president. So
let's go back.
And the government of that country decided, because the Armenian president.
There we go, Armenia. I just wanted to get the name. So there were protests in Armenia.
Attempted to become
all right.
prime minister.
How long do you think it would have taken, 100 years ago for us to find out about protests in Armenia? All right? Weeks, months, in some cases even years, man. And if it was violent where hundreds or thousands of people were died as a result, you wouldn't find out, like I said, months, weeks, months, years later, man.
Trying to overcome a legacy of democratic rule. The unexpected resignation prompted scenes of jubilation at the Capitol. The Armenian forces, the military there, started to take arms, non-lethal, started to take literal, hand in hand with the people of that country and say, this will not happen.
And that's what they're afraid of here. America is afraid of that very thing happening here. Well, that's why a lot of these guys that come back from the military are deemed as terrorist threats, man. They're put on a list. All right. And the reason they feel that way about them, because those guys go over there and learn the truth. And they go over there and they watch their friends and their comrades die over bullshit, which they realize is not even worth their lives. Well, you got guys over there protecting poppy fields. And then all of a sudden you have overwhelming drug issues in America of those very same products that they're protecting. All right, they don't want, and that's another reason why they want to disarm everyone, because they don't want these former military guys. Is that's one of their biggest threat is an honorably discharged soldier. That's one of the biggest threats to the American government right now. Okay, a lot of them they've already overworked, and with the upcoming wars, they're gonna have to institute a draft, man.
Now we have a lot of members in the U.S. military who have devoted their life to the U.S. Constitution, who have said that they will not allow the government of this country, of America, to stand against its people. And I hope that they can be emboldened.
I remember when there was a group of 1,000 Green Berets some years ago, man, that signed a document saying that they would fire the first shots if America tried to take away, I believe it was the Second Amendment. All right, so you do have, and these militias, and a lot of these guys are preppers, and they live out in the woods, and they're very heavily well armed, and they know military tactics, man. So guys like that are a threat. Why? Because they could easily dismantle police forces and things of that nature, man. And America, if for those you didn't know, often sends its police forces over to Israel to learn from the IDF, to learn from the Israeli defense, man. That's why there's so many unarmed shootings happen and stuff. All right. Why do you think so many Jakes are getting shot down? Well, it's part of the curses, but these guys are, because what do you see on the TV, man? Those Israeli defense, all they do is shoot unarmed Palestinians and beat them on film. They don't care. All right. And so a lot of Americans police force, they send a lot of them over to train, and they come back and they do exactly that, and it's showing.
A little bit. By the Armenian people. and see that you can stand together and make sure that
They don't want people
of
standing together.
objectionable videos in 3 months.
That's what we were trying to get to, right here.
Finally, the most important thing, the thing that I thought this deserved the most information, YouTube's artificial intelligence says that computers have helped pull down millions of objectionable videos in 3.
So this is what's happening with our live shows. They have an AI now. So some of these characters that we go back and forth with, you can completely I can understand. Like there's a particular character that I'm constantly going back and forth with, who is the king of deflection. He never answers the questions that I asked him. He just asks another question or just puts up information that's supposedly countering what I'm saying. It's never that. It's just him putting up information, which is the regurgitated lies, which has already been dismantled. But then it dawned on me when I watched this video that the guy may not even be real, man. It's an AI, which is programmed not to answer certain questions and to deflect, and that's why he's so relentless and nonstop. And always has an answer, even when you prove them completely wrong. It just comes back with an insult and another batch of false fake information, which has already been disproven. All right, this guy just said that you have an AI, artificial intelligence, that scours the internet looking for the information that it objects to.
Months. Objectionable. That's a key word that they keep using in their press conferences with their investors and with the governments of the world. Objectionable. Doesn't mean it goes against the terms of service. Doesn't mean it goes against the terms of use. It's not illegal. It's objectionable. That's a word that's lawyer speak. Open for interpretation. Think about it for a second. Software helped YouTube flag 4.5 million videos in 1 quarter in 1 3-month period before anyone saw them.
There you go. And a lot of my videos on my channel have disappeared. Right? Because I checked about a week ago and I could only go back 11 months. All right. So that means all the videos that prior to that, are just gone. All right. So I have videos that are just not there. No notice, no warning, no nothing. Just gone. And that's what this AI is doing. So we're not even fighting men anymore. We're fighting against artificial intelligence. All right?
Bad news for YouTube last quarter. Users uploaded millions of objectionable videos to the world's largest video site. The news that YouTube wants you and investors and advertisers to focus on is that it is successfully training computers to flag objectionable videos because that's the only way that it can sort the bad stuff. All that comes from a brief aside in the Google CEO's scripted remarks during parent company Alphabet's earnings call. He said that YouTube had pulled down more than 6 million videos in the last quarter of 2017 after first being flagged by its machine systems, and that 75% of those videos were removed from the site without receiving a single view.
Right. So with the involvement of AI and the evolution of the chip, man, this is a very dangerous time, man, for you. All right, for these Edomites and these heathens, man, because we're prepared and ready for these things, man. But hey, the collapse is definitely gonna come. So let's finish this up with some scriptures, man. I'm gonna go into the book of Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, and I'm gonna read verses 21 to 23 first, and it reads, "Behold, the victuals shall be so cheap upon earth, and they that drink themselves to be in a good case, think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion," like the guy out there in the middle of the woods, same as he is, with his house and his bunker. I was just watching another video, and the guy was showing you all his things that he set up so that he could survive, and how and the only people to use the road that he's on, he doesn't care that people see it, because the only people to use that road are the people who live out there with him. But those are the very people going to come for him. Because when they run out, or they just want to increase what they have, because that is the spirit and the mentality of the so-called white man. He doesn't want enough. He wants more than enough. He wants yours too. That's how he operates. All right? That's been his history and what he's proved. Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And that's exactly it, man. They're gonna kick in your doors, shoot you down, stab you up, and take your house captive. Have their way with your women, your daughters, your wives, Verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Right, because it's going to be a mass stink, because it's going to be bodies in the streets and the alleys, just right out front your front door, all right, on the sidewalks, and there's going to be no one to clean them up. People are gonna stay where they lay, man. Wherever they die, they're gonna stay. And the birds, the worms, and the rats, it's just gonna be disease. Those days are coming. That's why these guys, because there's another video I'm going to do where the guy's letting you know he's in upstate New York, man. And his video was about what's going to happen to inmates when the shit hits the fan. That's going to be a good one. We're going to go into that one. I'll probably do that one later on today or tomorrow. Next scripture, same book. I'm going to go to verses 41. And it reads, and he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell it therein. Because the cities are going to empty out, man. Merchants are not going to be making money, all right, because it's failing. The victuals are failing, man. All right, the grindings are ceasing. Downtown Chicago is full of luxury apartments and that are buildings that are half full, man. All right, real estate properties that are not being sold. Okay. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth a vineyard as he shall not gather grapes. And they that marry as they shall get no children, and they that marry not as widows, and therefore they shall labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, and overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in the captivity and the famine, they get the children. All right. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, and more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons. All right. And it's going to all be in vain, man. Why? Because it's just going to get taken. Like that scene in the road when they stumbled upon that, when they found that bunker. It was full of food and stuff. And the people who set that bunker up, they were dead, man. Since they weren't dead, they would have been in it. So the people who set that bunker up, that the man and his son, I think that was Vito Morganson, the people who set that up, they never got a chance to enjoy it. They never got a chance to sleep in peace and safety inside that bunker with all that food, man. They died before they even got there. Okay? One last scripture. This is Job, the 4th chapter and the 8th verse. Even as I have seen, they plow iniquity. So all this iniquity that you Edomites have plowed worldwide for hundreds of years now, all right? And sow wickedness, you've sowed nothing but wickedness. Reap the same. So it's all coming back down upon your head. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and Abba Babal.